Welcome to our talk on AI in recruiting. Really happy to see you all today. Just before we get into our talk, we wanted to say a massive thank you to Birmingham Tech Week first for hosting this event and for all the great talks that we've seen so far. And just a quick go through the sponsors. So we've got the in association with Tech Nation, West Midlands Growth Company, and Department for International Trade, as well as all of the 2020 sponsors and the 2020 partners.
Yeah, so just before we kick things off, here's a little bit about us and what we do and our kind of background.
So hi, I'm Gautham. I'm a third year maths and computer science student at Durham University. I'm a published machine learning researcher in the areas of NLP and learner analytics. I spent a year in in industry before uni, working as a machine learning engineer in non-performing loan portfolio valuations.
And hi, I'm Steve. I'm a third year computer science student at Durham University. I've been working as a software developer for Internly for just over a year now. Previously, I worked with local charities building database management systems, as well as teaching computer science to GCSE students, working with the Raspberry Pi Foundation.
I just want to say that we live in the same house together, so that's why we're kind of doing this together.
So yeah, before we kind of get to our main part of the talk, we just want to kind of know how much do you know about AI? Yeah, so we're going to do a quick poll now just to kind of get a little bit of understanding about how much everyone knows about AI. So we'll launch the poll. You should be able to see it now. Yeah, so just click whether you have no clue whatsoever, you've heard of it, you've watched a couple of YouTube videos, or you know all about it. So I'll give you like a minute or something for that. So
yeah.
What a broad brush. What if you just know around it? I've never done it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose you can go into either the second or third, but yeah, it's just to kind of gauge where everyone is at the moment. So it's 3 people not voted yet. We'll just give them a little bit more time. Can they see the results?
I don't know. Can you guys see the results of the poll?
No.
No. Okay. We'll share it.
When's the poll? When you end it. Yeah, it's just ended.
Waiting on just 2 more people. Just give them a couple more seconds.
Oh.
All right.
Too late. Yeah. So as you can see, we've got quite a good mix of people. And that's really, really good to see. But just to get everyone on the same page, if you don't know a bit, artificial intelligence, or AI, is a broader concept of machines being able to carry out tasks in a way that we would consider smart. So artificial intelligence has become prominent in almost like all facets of life. So from powering the voice assistants like Siri and Alexa in your pockets to helping doctors diagnose different types of cancer. AI is pretty much everywhere now, and we're going to show you how much it has helped the recruiting industry and more about how much more it has to offer as well.
So firstly, a little bit about the types of softwares in the recruitment stack. So you've got sourcing tools, which help bring the candidates to you, either via getting them to apply directly or by proactively sourcing suitable candidates through social media and other means. Selection tools help you determine which candidates to shortlist and make it through to the next stage and eventually fill your position. Onboarding is the final step of the process, where you finally found your perfect employee. Onboarding software makes it a seamless transition to your current workforce. ATS, Application Tracking Systems, is the software that HR teams use to organize and track these 3 stages. CRMs help you keep a record of all candidates, both successful and unsuccessful, and helps you enhance the candidate experience. As you'll see later, the boundaries between each type can be blurred, and many software solutions offer different combinations of these types.
So let's have a look at some common problems that recruiters face. So one of the biggest problems is not finding the best candidates. In fact, 74% of recruiters have said that they've hired the wrong person on many occasions. And this is definitely one of the biggest problems. And this is kind of derived from the second issue, which is a small candidate pool. So this is when you don't get enough applicants, or you don't have the time or workforce to go out and try and reach out to candidates proactively. But on the opposite end of things, we've also got the problem of having too many unqualified applicants. So recruiters spend a lot of time manually sifting through hundreds of CVs just to find out that they're not even going to make it through to the next stage. We've also got the problem of engaging candidates. So that's going through the whole pipeline from all the way from sourcing to onboarding and keeping them happy and engaged and just creating a positive relationship with them before they join your company. There's also the problem of recruiting fairly and dealing with unconscious bias. And we also have the problem of long times to hire. So some of these lengthy recruitment processes, they lead to vacant positions that linger on for long periods of time and cause frustrations within the team. So we've had a brief look at what AI is, and we've had a brief look at what the current problems that recruiters face are as well. So the question that naturally comes to mind is, how is AI used to solve these problems? So let's delve into this by going through each category at each category of software one at a time. So we'll start off with the sourcing. So sourcing is the first stage of the pipeline, as we've mentioned, and in many ways the most important. Sourcing software is used to create a pool of interested candidates that you can examine and then progress to the next stage. So we've got Fetcher. It's a sourcing tool. It takes a job description and uses machine learning to match the best candidates across various social channels such as Facebook and LinkedIn. This significantly reduces the time and effort to source quality candidates. It does it all for you and leads to a shorter time to hire.
We also have Seekout, a tool trusted by heavyweights such as Twitter and Target, uses AI to scour their database of 500 million candidates to narrow down the best ones for your role. Imagine getting a human to do that every time.
Yeah, we've also got HireSuite, which is another sourcing tool. They take it one step further by using a thing called reinforcement learning to understand your preferences. So this means it'll learn from the candidate suggestions that you liked or didn't like and use it to tailor future searches.
Some softwares like Textio use AI to tackle the problem a bit differently. It uses machine learning to analyze their massive datasets of real-world hiring outcomes and the text associated with each one. It then uses this to advise you on the best language for things such as job descriptions and outreach emails to guarantee inclusivity, for example, by correcting gendered words or languages known to put off a certain demographic, and guarantee attention from potential candidates. In this case, AI has been used to increase diversity among applicants and better the candidate experience. Next in the pipeline, we have a selection. This is the process of ranking and narrowing down all your applicants into a final list, after which you should be able to say, let's invite the top 10 candidates to an interview. So how do these systems actually use AI, Steve?
So, well, let me give you the example of Pymetrics. So Pymetrics asks employees already working at that company in that particular role to take their psychometric test, their different kinds of tests. They then analyze the data points and skills, and then they use that as a matching parameter to rank and find the best new candidates for this role. So this significantly increases the likelihood that a new employee is the right fit for that company. As well as this, Pymetrics have put in preventive measures in their algorithm to stop it becoming inherently biased by defining success based on current employees.
Now we have Seekout, a tool that we mentioned in the previous slide, uses AI to offer more dimensions to each profile than you would normally get from a standard CV. For technical roles, it analyzes a candidate's GitHub and their code contributions to create a quality ranking, which you could then use as part of your judgment. For academics, it builds an understanding of their expertise by analyzing papers they've published and monitoring how often they're cited. Once again, AI has been used to give a more complete representation of each candidate.
So in the current climate, digital recruiting is the new norm, and tools such as My Interview uses AI to analyze recorded video interviews to find deeper insights into each candidate and allows you to screen large volumes of candidates at once. It also performs checks to make sure to validate the authenticity of each interview.
Filtered is another selection software, has a nifty feature which uses AI to generate tried and tested technical interviews based on your role description. It allows recruiters to save time and focus on the parts that matter. AI used in the selection process use hundreds of variables and parameters to weigh different skills related to the job requirements, something that we can never do as a human, which is what makes it a great idea to use and is a huge advancement that everyone should utilize.
So on going to recruitment CRMs, candidate experience is the most essential part of this. Keeping candidates engaged and feeling positive about the recruiting experience is hard, and that's why chatbots like JobPal are awesome. Their AI is tuned to converse with these candidates and answer any key questions that they have through several mediums such as Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. It provides a personal and human-like experience for them that a recruiter just couldn't do for over 100 candidates.
Paradox is a recruiting tool that offers something similar. It offers a chatbot that can understand and answer key questions from candidates and take this one step further by doing it in every language you need. Paradox AI also provides reminders through texts and emails to reduce the no-show rates.
So Zoom AI is another really powerful tool in this current climate as well. It uses AI to find the best time to schedule an interview for both you and the candidate. So by doing this, you avoid the back and forth and significantly reduce the time to hire. So as well as this, they provide a friendly interface for the candidate to self-schedule their interview, resulting in a better candidate experience as well.
Another way in which AI helps to better the candidate experience is by offering gamification. Instead of having to sit through long and tedious assessment tools, such as NAC, allows candidates to play games which offer a deep insight into their way of thinking, which benefits both recruiters and candidates. The future. AI has become an integral part of the recruitment industry, helping us all to hire better, quicker, and cheaper. The latest advancements in deep learning, neural networks, and natural language processing all point towards systems getting smarter. We just have a few little bits that we think are going to come up in the future. Firstly, NLP is already quite a large role, but with the latest developments from transformer models like BERT, the ability to understand the semantic complexities in sentences is getting very close to human levels.
Yeah, and there's also automated video interviews, which is something that we mentioned briefly, but it's becoming really quite an integral part of the virtual hiring process. So there's quite a lot of discussion on whether we should use eye tracking, facial expression analysis, and other extensive and invasive AI methods to enhance the analysis of people.
Machine learning requires data, and lots of it. Only recently have we started collecting this data in the area of recruiting. Over the next few years, we'll be able to build large, relevant data sets. From there, we can utilize it to gain a lot of insight into everything from skill progression to be able to predict next job roles for a candidate and retention statistics.
So deep learning, which is a facet of AI, has also produced models like GPT-3, which is able to generate human-like text, articles, and possible job descriptions from scratch. It's the latest model from OpenAI and is trained on quite literally the whole internet.
So what do you guys think? In the chat, write something in recruiting that you think will change due to AI or needs to change.
So yeah, we'll have a look at the chat. So what do you guys think? It could be, yeah. So something that you think is going to change due to AI, or something that you thought was really a really important part, that a really important change that AI has brought to recruiting.
We'll just give everyone a minute to type out something. Ability to give unsuccessful candidates feedback and possible areas of improvement. Yep. Reducing discrimination bias.
Yeah, I think that first point is a really good thing as well, because there's been so many times we've applied for jobs and like internships and things like that, and we've had no feedback and nothing to go off really. And
so, sometimes you write, asking for feedback, and they just reply with, "Oh, we've got too many people, and we just don't have the resources to." So that would be a benefit to quite a lot of companies in that area. Personalized experience geared to the candidate. Yeah, definitely. And this is where the idea of kind of understanding and being able to build models of data models of people to give as much of a personalized experience. So we've got quicker narrowing down of candidates. Yeah, the pipeline to getting to that final couple or few candidates is definitely really good. So yeah, we'll just move on to the next. But thank you everyone for all your answers. Oh, we've just got a couple more. Yep.
Yeah, so we talked a bit about AI and recruiting, and we just want to spend a little bit of time talking about Internally. As we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, but we're an AI-powered internship recruitment platform. So we've experienced the problems ourselves of repetitive, monotonous application process for internships, and that is something that we wanted to change. So that's exactly what we did by creating Internally. We created a one application process. We also realized that companies have a lot of issues to do with internship recruitment as well. And so we bridged those two sides together and basically created a platform that negates all these problems that both sides have.
So a little bit on our business side of things. So we have a very large talent pool in our early sign up. We've got over 4,500 students signed up, and we want to give all companies access to a large talent pool. We're scaling at the moment to over 100 UK universities and have plans to expand into Europe next year.
Yeah, we've also got our streamlined talent search, which is probably one of our most like desired features. So this allows you to create a role and simply search based on that role and the restrictions that you put on that role, and this returns you a whole list of students from that large talent pool that exactly fit the profile that you're looking for.
So we place a huge focus on reducing discrimination and bias. And so we do not use any protected characteristics in any of our AI or algorithms, but we also provide an additional positive discrimination diversity recruiting feature. And I'd love to talk about that at the end if that's something that interests people.
Yeah, so as well as this, we also do tests ourselves. So all the students on our platform will be asked to do tests. And this just gives an extra dimension that you can use to judge students by and learn more about them and just help you assess them better.
So we've talked a lot about AI, but how do we at Internally use AI?
So the main place where we use AI is our AI powered search, and as we've mentioned a little bit better, it helps companies find their ideal candidates quicker. So efficiency and time to hire is our key goal while providing a large and diverse talent pool. So our web platform is really intuitive and easy to use, and we integrate it with ATSs, and we also allow you to export to CSVs as well to give you the full freedom about what you want to do next with these candidates. It can be an assessment day or a video interview, whatever's up to you, but we let you get to that stage at a much quicker time.
So just a little bit about our student side and our company side. So students sign up to our platform, they select roles and industries that they're interested in, they complete their single test, and they automatically apply to all relevant positions that are available on our platform. And we also focus on student transparency, us being students ourselves. We understand that students want to know information like, have I been shortlisted, who's viewed me, what search results, and so we've all built that completely into the platform. On the company side, you can create a role with specific skills, languages, degree requirements completely in there, and then our AI algorithm would automatically find you the best students for that role within minutes. As previously said, we got integration with ATSs as well as export for CSVs. If you're looking to hire interns, please do get in touch with myself or Steve, and we've got our details on this slide.
Yeah, so thank you all for coming and listening to our talk. We had a lot of fun making it and presenting and just kind of researching around the areas, learning new things, and we're really happy to share it with you guys. So yeah, we'd love to grab a virtual coffee sometime just to talk about AI, recruiting, anything, anything mentioned in this talk. And for Internally, would love, if you're hiring interns, would love to give you a demo. And we just want to mention that Internally is free for the next year, so it's completely free to use. But yeah, so we'd be happy to give anyone a demo and just kind of walk through what we do.
Also, if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask, or to put it in the chat.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah,
go for it.
All right. So one of the main challenge with recruitment in the UK is not giving the candidates a feedback. Okay, and quite a number of candidates feels that why did I get turned down? Why am I not, able to proceed to the next level? Even though maybe I've done my research about the company, about the job specification. So how do you think AI? I know AI can actually do this thing, okay?
Yeah.
But how do you think? I don't know if it's too expensive to do, because I believe large numbers of the recruitment agencies in the UK don't have the facilities, to be honest. They just have a particular template to tell people, what, we have tons of people. Even if some of them just had like 10 people who just applied, they just give them that same template, So how do you think AI can be able to, assist, to be able to give feedback to the candidates, all right? Because it helps the candidates now maybe
Yeah, so
research.
just off the top of my mind, a lot of companies get a lot of CVs, and you know exactly what CVs are progressed to the next stage. So what AI could do is it could understand the information in those CVs and find out what's different, and automatically say, oh, this skill has progressed through and you don't have this skill, and being able to generate these kind of reports based off the CV data automatically. That could be quite a simple thing that could be built. I mean, it'll be very complex, but as a simple use case, that I see that as being quite a good thing.
Yeah, so I just want to add to that as well. As we mentioned, the selection process as part of the recruiting pipeline, there's a lot of AI tools currently available, like we mentioned, like Biometrics and My Interview, and they do a lot of analysis, and this analysis is what makes them suggest these candidates to you. They say, these are the best candidates. But what a lot of these companies also do is kind of tell you exactly why they were picked. So they let you know, like, this candidate was picked because they showed better like verbal reasoning compared to other candidates, things like that. And this can kind of be like flipped to the other side as well. So if it can show how candidates were better than others, it can also kind of demonstrate what other candidates need to improve on. And this is something that they can easily kind of turn into like a report that they can send to candidates that didn't make it through. And I think that would be really useful for them. And I think it'd be pretty easy for them to implement it as well. So hopefully we see a lot of that coming out soon. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Anyone got any more questions? So I think.
Yeah, I had one, if I may.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, less of a question, more of a plea for help. So I'm Hilary. I live in the West Midlands and work ironically for both GBS LEP and also University of Sheffield, where I work closely with Innovate UK and funding councils, and they have been investing in AI in professional services for the past 4 years or so, and are interested in the potential opportunity of AI within recruitment, stroke HR, stroke employment services. So this has been incredibly useful. If anybody wants to talk to me about their experiences and insights, I mean, it's a bit more of a plea for help, but that's a live piece of work. So I'd like to pick, I've got your email addresses here, so I will pick up with you, but equally the lady who was talking at the beginning with the recruitment background, just be really useful, because we're trying to get that evidence base together to see if there's a motivation or a need for public support, public money intervention, as they have done in some of the other services. So that's me.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good. Yeah. I hope. Yeah, so if you've been attending many of the events through Tech Week, then just to try and gauge.
I have, but less with my Sheffield hat on, more with my local GBS hat on. So I'm policy officer for the West Midlands for professional services.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
As well as a research fellow. I have 2 sides to my job, but they overlap.
Yeah. Just you've got our email. Just feel free to hit us, and we'll love to jump on a call and kind of discuss a few things.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, personally, we've spoken to, like, over the past 2 weeks, like 10, 12 recruiters. So we've definitely like kind of understood some of the problems, etc., and would love to share them. Do you have any other questions?
Okay.
So we've got a question. I'll just read out because it's been sent privately. I'm not clear on how Internly is different from current existing job search AI sites like Indeed or Jobs Lead. So Internly is an internship only recruitment platform. At the moment, there is no focus on a platform that is specifically designed to recruit interns. A lot of the focus is on grad jobs. Sites like Indeed, etc. What they do is they host job applications, and students have to go to each job application and fill in all their details. What Internly does is, by creating our one application, we distribute that to all companies on our site. We use this selection of industries and roles to find basically the companies that you're looking for without having to specify, oh, I want to work with this company or this company. And that's kind of why Internly is different.
Yeah, so yeah, just to add on, so like our major difference in that is like students just have to make that one application, and also of course our AI search, which we believe is a lot better than the kind of basic searches that Indeed and other like job aggregators have. So ours takes into consideration like a much more deeper understanding of each candidate and gets you like the best ones straight away. And yeah, and like I said, the talent pool is very specific. It's students that are actively looking for internships. So if a recruiter goes on, they know exactly, like they know every candidate on there is exactly what they're looking for. Yeah, so yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Probably just have a couple more minutes if anyone has any final questions. Yes, we are marketing to universities. We've very recently just launched the platform, so we're kind of in the process of doing many marketing things at once. So yes, we have started to we have started talking to universities, and we're just kind of slowly making our way through them. Is your marketing through AI? Sorry, I don't understand what you mean. Is our marketing through? Does our marketing use AI? No, not at the moment. We kind of understand exactly who we're targeting, as in just students. So at the moment, we're just utilizing, a student ambassador network that we're building at the moment, as well as just getting in contact with career departments and stuff like that, to basically interact with students when they're actually looking for jobs and internships, rather than just, while they're browsing through social media and, stuff like that.
So yeah, we've got a question from from someone. How does this platform promote diversity recruitment? So one of the main features that we have is this diversity monitoring feature, which basically, after a whole cycle of recruiting, so let's say you go from November to January, you can have a look at how many candidates exactly that you, out of the ones that you shortlisted. It creates a report, and it gives statistics such as the male to female ratio, how many Black and ethnic minority candidates there were, things such as that. And you can kind of look through it and find things to improve on. So if there's any statistics that kind of like stand out, you can have a look and see, why has this happened? Has there been any unconscious bias? But you can also use it to celebrate things that have went really well, saying, you know what, we really nailed this year. Let's put it on our website. Let's keep doing what we're doing because it's working. So that's a major part of it. And then we've also got our diversity focused
recruitment, and that's more of the positive discrimination recruiting in a type, and that's using a mix of AI and manual search in a sense, because none of our AI stuff use any of the protected characteristics. So it's kind of working together with the algorithms and the models to find the best students. Got a question. Is this in the UK only? Yes. To start with, we are focusing in the UK only. Mainly that's just we don't have the resources or funding at the moment to expand to larger. We've had over 2,000 students from the US, from India, from Europe, that have signed on to the platform, we've kind of had to turn them down in a sense and say, hopefully we can expand into next year. Have a question, how using AI to attract employers? So our AI is more on the matching algorithm, and what employers in the conversations we had, they don't want to look through 200, 300, or even 500 applicants just to find out that, more than half of them don't have the skills or the requirements that was even posted on the job. And we see that quite a lot of candidates are just kind of applying kind of for the sake of it, kind of just to get all the numbers up and just shooting off CVs left, right, center. And so by using our AI, you can completely filter through that noise and get to candidates that are both actively looking for an internship in a company like yours, as well as are suitable for the job and have the expertise and experience. I think we'll probably round it off there unless anyone has any other questions. All right, we've got our LinkedIn and our emails on there, so if you guys want to grab a virtual coffee, we're definitely down to do that. And thank you very much for attending.